everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw. I am Tony Schiavone, here with Trini Kwan and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw, we're going to see what team is going to go next for the TWF Women Tag Team Winnings and are going to face Dana Brooke and Eve Torres, Tony Schiavone says. Well, that's right, Tony Schiavone. Trini Kwan said, that's right, Tony. You'll see, Trini Kwan said, who Eve Torres and Dana Brooke are going to wrestle next for the TWF Women Tag Team Winnings. I can tell you one thing, Corey Graves says, I think the Wounded Lead, I think the Wounded Lead, or the Wounded Run, I think they should be the ones going for the TWF Women's Tag Team Winnings. At least that's what I believe. Corey Graves says. At least that's my thought and my belief on it. Well, speaking of that, you know, here's the wound. Well, here's the Wounded Lead now. Here's Io Shirai. Some folks like to call her Io Sky now, but I will always call her Io Shirai. And this is and there's Angelina Love over there, Tony Schiavone said. Yeah, Trini Kwan said. And Angelina Love can't even stand up in the ring. Trini Kwan said, yep, that's right. She can't stand up in the ring, but somehow, some way, she somehow became one half of the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. You know, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, well, she did it, Corey Graves said, because she was skilled. She was gifted. That's how she did it. Right now, I think I should be the TWF Women's Heavyweight. All right, Bailey goes. I should be the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. I should be the Women's World Heavyweight, the World Women's Heavyweight Fighter. I think my friends Io Shirai or Io Sky, whatever you want to call her, and Angelina Love should be the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. Again, for a fourth time. Again, for a third time. At least that's what I believe. And no one is going to tell me, unlike, that should not happen. Well, here comes Gail Kim now. So, we haven't seen you, Gail Kim, in months. Oh, yeah. First off, Gail Kim said, you think, Bailey? You think Io Sky or Io Shirai or Angelina Love? You think that you should have the right to fight for the TWF Women Tag Team Winnings again? After how you both behaved the first two times you won it, Gail Kim says. And you, Bailey, think that you should be the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter or the World Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Why? Because we all know you behaved like a creep, a bully in a heel since 29 between YL, and you like to call yourself the onlooked. Well, truth is, who would onlook you for all the things you do and all the things you say? And as you like to say, ding dong, no, you two are not going to get your match right away with the TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. And Bianca Belair, she gets to choose who she wants to wrestle. And Charlotte Flair gets to choose who she wants to wrestle. And if they choose to wrestle you, that's great. If they choose not to wrestle you, well, I guess that's bad for you then. So, I'm telling you today, Eve Torres and Dana Brooke will be taking on the team of Nikki Cross and AJ Lee for the TWF Women Tag Team Winnings. And you both get out of the ring now. You don't run anything. You don't lead anything. You don't look wounded to me. Well, we just heard from Gail Kim, the head of the TWF Women's, the overseer of the TWF Women's team. You know. And we know Bayley and her friends will not be happy to hear that they're not getting what they wanted. You know, that they're not going to become the free-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. So I guess that will just give them, give them something else to bitch about. Tony Schiavone says. Well, that's unfair. Corey Graves says. That's unfair that Gail Kim won't, says Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair can choose who they want to wrestle. That's unfair that Nikki Cross and AJ Lee get to fight Eve Torres and Dana Brooke for the TWF Women's Tag Team Winnings, and they don't. Corey Graves says, well, sometimes in life, Trini Kwan said, we all know life is unfair. Sometimes you don't always get everything you want. Sometimes your wishes don't always come true. And this is just one time that the wounded lead don't get their way, Trini Kwan says. Come on. Fuck. Well, this is for the TWF Women's Tag Team Winnings. Stop. First, they are the team of Nikki Cross and AJ Lee. And they are the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters, Dana Brooke and Dana Brooke. Well, let's not forget, Trini Kwan. Let's not forget, Tony Schiavone says, Trini and Corey, that AJ Lee and Nikki Cross are former TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. Before the Alexa Bliss Nikki Cross team won them sometime down the ground, won them after that. There are many other teams that never ever got, never got their shot. They are one of many teams that never got another shot at a TWF Women's Tag Team Winnings. Tony Schiavone said, and Nikki Cross sometimes wants folks to believe she's crazy, that she's nuts, that she's not right in the head, Tony Schiavone says. And Nikki Cross body slamming Eve Torres, the three-time WWE lead women's heavyweight fighter. That's right, Trini Kwan said. Eve Torres has been in the TWF for some time. Nikki Cross has won the TWF Women Tag Team Winnings at least 2 times of Nikki Cross and at least 2 times of Alexa Bliss. She is a three-time WWE Women's Tag Team fighter with Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley, 1-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight fighter. Yes, and don't forget Nikki Cross won the WWE 24/7 winnings many times. Corey Graves said before that was over. And Nikki Cross right now coming back, Tony Schiavone said, oh, she goes right in the ring steeple. Eve Torres knocked down Nikki Cross and has just tagged in Dom Dana Brooke, who hasn't really won anything except the WWE 24/7 winnings during her whole run in WWE. Tony Schiavone says, "That's right," Trini Kwan said. Dana Brooke had been in WWE since 25th between YL, and the only thing she ever won during all her time on Raw or SmackDown or in NXT was the WWE 24/7 winnings. And now AJ Lee, a body slam by Dana Brooke, Tony Schiavone said. I tell you what, Corey Graves said, I'm not going to take away that AJ Lee or Nikki Cross or Dana Brooke or Eve Torres aren't skilled women wrestlers, because they are. I just think that it should be Io Shirai and Angelina Love should be in that ring right now, and not those two. Corey Graves said, in a body slam. Dana Brooke going from the top rope. It's going to be over here. The Fight Lord's going to... Fuck. I know, I didn't mean to do that. Get down. And the Fight Lord's going to see if he can get the one... The Fight Keeper's going to see if he's going to get the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here are your winners. And still, the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters, Dana Brooke and Eve Torres. Well, Nikki Cross and AJ Lee, don't take nothing away from Nikki Cross or AJ Lee. AJ Lee won the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings many times. She's won them two times Alexa Bliss and with Nikki Cross. Now, Tony Schiavone said it seems that Dana Brooke and Eve Torres are still the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters, Tony Schiavone said. As of right now, Trini Kwan said, but I'm guessing there'll be other women that want to go for those winnings. Oh. If you'd like to hear what Bianca Belair or Charlotte Flair choosing, who they want to wrestle, who they want to fight, Trini Kwan says. And it truly sad, Corey Graves says, that Gil Kim had to come up with that oversight. Completely unfair. Corey Graves says. As we told you, life is not fair, Trini Kwan said. Well, I do know one thing. Renee Young now is now going to be talking with Gil Kim now. Alright, Tony Schiavone, I'm going to be talking with the TWF Women's overseer, the TWF Women's team, Gil Kim, who also handles skill dealings in the TWF. Gil Kim, some folks out there might wonder, are you frightened of the Wounded Lead or the Wounded Run doing anything to you? First off, if they do, they might get themselves held up. They might get themselves fired. No, I'm not frightened of Bayley and Io Shirai and Angelina Love. I'm not frightened of them. They can call themselves whatever they want. The Wounded Lead, the Wounded Run. You can't have it both ways. You can't be the bully and the beaten. And that's how they play it. Now, yeah, I chose Nikki Cross and AJ Lee because they never did get a shot for the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings. And keep in mind, AJ Lee and Nikki Cross won them once. Well, after Nikki Cross and after Alexa Bliss and AJ Lee won them before. So, since AJ Lee and Nikki Cross never got a shot for them, and that was at least about 3 years ago, I felt that it was about time they get that. And as far as me giving Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair the right to choose who they want to wrestle, who they want to fight, I thought that was fair enough too. And if Bayley and Io Shirai and Angelina Love want to bitch about the unfairness, well, let them. When you behave like a bully and a hill and a creep, you don't get on with. and you don't get gifts. I gotta go now, Gil Kim says. Alright, that was my talk with Gil Kim, the head of the overseer of the TWF women's team. And back to you, Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking. Thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Gil Kim here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. It looks like that's all the time we got here for Alone Tonight Raw, Monday Night Raw. I am Tony Schiavone for Trini Kwan and Corey Graves. We hope you like Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.